What's up, guys? It's Kat. So I wanted to go over if you're trying to get your CDL, help you pass your test, because everybody knows you have to pass your test, and you have your road test, and you also have your paper test. I can't help you with your road test because that's something you have to know how to do, is drive a truck, because that's important. But what I can do is help you with the paper test. Get ready. Let's go. So, on your test, it's going to be questions like this. You have your paper? Do you have your pen? Okay, just checking. When the roads are slippery, you should A, drive alongside other vehicles. B, make turns as gentle as possible. C, stop and test the traction while going up hills. Or D, decrease the distance between you. Look ahead of your vehicle. If you answered B, make turns as gentle as possible, that's correct. Because you have to think about it. This is not a car. This is a big vehicle that is over 25,000 tons. Yes, and if you're carrying a load, you don't want to go real fast because you're going to flip over. Just saying, think truck, right? Number 2, which of these statements about brakes is true? Is it A, the heavier a vehicle or the faster it is moving, the more heat the brakes have to absorb to stop it? Is it B, brakes have more stopping power when they get very hot? Is it C, brake drums cool very quickly when the vehicle is moving very fast? Or is it C, all of the above? Let's go with A. The heavier a vehicle or the faster it is moving, the more heat the brakes have to absorb to stop. Bam. Number 3, truck escapes ramps. Is it A, help avoid damage to vehicles? B, should not be used if brakes fail or downgrade? C, cannot be used by certain types of heavy vehicles? Or D, all of the above? A, it helps avoid damage to vehicles. So just think about it. You're in a truck, people, or you're driving a big bus, more than 15 passengers. So think about big. Okay, number 4, you are starting your vehicle in motion from a stop. As you apply power to drive, they start to spin, as in your wheels start to spin. You should A, take your foot off the accelerator. B, take your foot off the accelerator and apply the brakes. C, press harder on the accelerator. Or D, try a lower gear. A, take your foot off the accelerator, right? You don't want to immediately press the brakes or nothing like that. You have to think about your load is important. You flip the truck over and your load, boom, and next thing you know, your cargo, somebody got to pay for it. Your insurance company is like, I ain't doing it. Then next thing you know, the owner is mad, and if you own it, you mad. People mad because they didn't get their cargo. Just think about it. 5, the distance that you should look ahead of your vehicle while driving amounts to about blank mile at highway speed. Huh? What? $1/4 is the answer for that one. I know I didn't write the answers, but you know, this is really long, so I'm just gonna give it to y'all. 6, the driver's manual suggests several things to do when you pass a vehicle. Which of these is not one of them? It would be B, at night, turn on your high beams before you start to pass and leave them on, or until you have completely passed the vehicle. Now listen, if you don't know about the driver's manual and you getting in this big truck because you just want to make some side hustle money and boom, 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 people. Okay. 7. Which of these statements about downshifting is true? When you downshift for a curb, you should do so before you enter the curb. I mean, that sounds right, because it is. Next question. Which of these can cause a vehicle to skid? A, turning too sharply. B, not enough weight on the front axle. C, over acceleration. Or D, all of the above. D, all of the above. Which of these pieces of emergency equipment should always be carried in your vehicle? Sounds like another all of the above, so let's go over it. Fire extinguishers, check. You need those just in case a fire happens, or an oil fire happens, a hazardous fire happens. You need it. B, spare electrical fuses. Okay. If the vehicle uses them, of course. And C, warning devices for parked vehicles. You need it. Alright. Next. Which of these statements about drugs is true? This is the true answer. Use of the drugs of any kind can lead to accidents and or arrest. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? So don't use drugs. So you should be getting tested when you first start, when you're initially hired, and then throughout randomly tested, right? Because I mean, again, you're driving this big vehicle. You need to make sure you're safe. Okay. Next. Which of these would tell you that a shipment contains hazardous material? Okay, because there's a difference, right? The name of the hazardous class on the shipping paper. Yes. A 4-inch diamond-shaped hazardous materials label on the container. Yes. A hazardous material placard on the vehicle. Yes and yes, right? My face is like really shining. Okay, I feel like I'm taking the test because I'm like, So next, to avoid a crash, you had to drive onto the right shoulder. You are now driving at 40 miles per hour on the shoulder. How should you move back onto the pavement? Well, if the shoulder is clear, you should stay on it until your vehicle has come to a stop. Then move onto the pavement when it is safe. That's the correct answer. I mean, the rest of them, it really is, it doesn't matter. It's the right one. Okay, the next one. Which fires can you use water to put out? Tire fires, gasoline fires, or electrical fires? All of the above. No. Let's go with tire fires. Next, you should use mirrors to check the condition of your tires, where the rear of your vehicle is, where is it at when you're making turns, and also traffic gaps when merging. So the answer for this one is all of the above, right? Let's get it. Which of these statements are true when it comes to speed management? On a wet road, you should reduce your speed about 1/3. On packed snow, you should reduce your speed about at least a half. Or when the road is slippery, it will take longer to stop and it will be harder to turn while skidding. All of the above. Check. Your vehicle is in traffic, in a traffic emergency, and may collide with another vehicle if you do not take action. Which of these is a good true rule to remember at such a time like this? It's going to be this: you can almost always turn to miss an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. I'm just saying, think about a deer. So if you slam on brakes and try to avoid the deer, usually more damage happens versus you still going. You may tap the deer, boom, the deer's like, still going, and you're going too. So it may do a little bit more damage, but everybody's still living. The deer's living and you living too. Versus slamming on brakes, boom, crash. So yeah, that's the answer for that one. Which of these statements are true about tires in hot weather driving? You should inspect your tires every 2 hours or every 100 miles when driving in hot weather. True. Okay, which of these is most important to remember about emergency braking? Braking is important when you got these big trucks, because you really got to know if you're going to brake, or you're going to just slow down, or you're going to just never go. So the one that's true is if the wheels are skidding, you cannot control the vehicle. That's the most important. You got to think about it. It's too much weight. You can't control it. To correct a drive wheel braking skid, you should stop braking, turn quickly, and counter steer. Okay? Which of these is a sign of tire failure? Steering that feels heavy, a loud bang, vibration. It's all of the above. Okay? Next, which is the proper way to hold a steering wheel? It is with both hands on the opposite side of the wheel. Okay, moving right along. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry and visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you can keep in front of you to be safe? The answer is 4 seconds. All right. Which of these is a good thing to do when driving at night? Just think about it, right? Keep your speed low enough that when you stop within the range of your headlights. That's the answer. Next, which of these statements about driving in areas with strong winds is true? The answer is winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. It's true. Think about when you are in a car and that wind is like boom, boom, boom. So imagine a lot of times when it's high winds, they'll tell you no trucks are allowed coming through tunnels and on bridges, right? Especially like the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. It's so long. They be like, nah, it's too dangerous. To help stay alert while driving, you should take short breaks before you are drowsy. And that's important, you know. I mean, doing the same job over and over again in the distance that you're driving, it can be, you know, tiresome to your body. And sometimes you think it's not because you're like, oh, I do this every day. But you need to take breaks. I mean, we all need to take breaks. I need to do better with taking breaks too. Okay, next. Okay, you do not have a hazardous material endorsement on your commercial driver's license. You can drive a vehicle hauling hazardous material when the vehicle does not require placards. Okay, now to remember that. So the next one is like a diagram. So the road you are driving on becomes very slippery to glare ice. Which of these is a good thing to do in the situation? Definitely stop driving until you feel like it's safe to resume, okay? All right. Retarders. What is retarders? Retarders can cause the drive wheel to skid when it's poor traction. Yep. Next, you are driving a new truck with a manual transmission. What gear will you probably have to use to take a long, steep downhill grade? The answer, the lower gear than you would use to climb up the hill, okay? Which of these is not a part of the pre-trip inspection of the engine compartment? I gotta eat my pizza, I'm sorry, I'm like starving. Valve clearance, okay? You can see a marking on a vehicle ahead of you. The marking is a red triangle with an orange center. What does the marking mean? There's like a net in here. The marking means it may be a slow moving vehicle, right? Right. High beams should be used when it is safe and legal to do so. You shouldn't just be blasting people with your high beams, period. That's in a car or a truck. For this item, refer to the right to give you a diagram, and it says you are driving a long vehicle that makes wide turns. You want to make a left turn from Elm Street until Oak Street. There are 2 left turns on Elm Street and Oak Street, and it's a 4-lane street with 2 lanes in each direction. You should use the left turn lane, which is B. So let me show you what it looks like. Probably go like screenshot it or something. Okay. Next, an en route inspection should include checking for tire overheating, brake overheating, or cargo securement. All of the above, right? Yes. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? You should avoid backing whenever you can. That's important. Which of these is a good thing to remember about drinking alcohol? Again, remember, a big, heavy equipment. All alcohol first affects judgment and self-control, which are necessary for safe driving. The chance of a crash is much greater for drivers who have been drinking than for drivers who were not. A driver can lose his or her license for driving while drunk. All of the above. You are checking your tires for a pre-trip inspection. Which of these statements is true? Tires of mismatched sizes should not be used on the same vehicle. That's important. Which of these can cause a fire? Under inflated tires, loose fuel connections, electrical short circuits, all of the above. which is counter steering. Counter steering is turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid an emergency or traffic emergency. You are driving a vehicle that can safely be driven at 55 miles per hour on an open road. But traffic, what the, that's a big net. Oh my God. Let's see, but traffic is now heavy, moving at 35 miles per hour. Though the speed limit is 55, the safest speed for your vehicle is most likely 35. On which, let's see, on which fires can you use an ABC fire extinguisher? The big ones, right? It'll be all of them. Electrical, burning liquids, and like burning cloth. They solve everything. Which of these statements about cargo loading is true? State laws dictate legal weight limits. I told you I get the overweight stickers. Which of these statements about using turn signals is true? When turning, you should signal early. Which of these statements about double clutching and shifting is true? You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. I think everybody got a tachometer in there, but. So, which of these best describes how you should use the brake pedal on a steep downgrade? Light, steady pressure. Which of these statements about speed management is true? You should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. Okay, center of gravity of a load, because this is important, because you'll be, taking loads. You gotta know about your load. You can make a vehicle more likely to tip over if you're going around a curve if it is high, right? So the higher your load, boom, quicker it gets turned over. Okay. Which of these statements about marking a stopped vehicle is true? If a hill or a curve keeps the driver behind you from seeing the vehicle within 500 feet, the rear reflective triangle should be moved back, right, down the road. Because that gives it an adequate warning. It's nothing like coming up to a place and you can see a person in the road. You're like, oh my God, I almost hit him. That could be you. So put the triangle 500 feet where it belongs. Oh, you gonna get hit. Okay? Alright. Next. You are checking your brakes and suspension. You should, because brakes are important. Remember, skirt, flip. Before your pre-trip inspection, which of these statements is true? Let's see. Brake shoes should never have oil, grease, or brake fluid on them. Because how are you going to use the brakes appropriately? I mean, if you process each of these answers, you got to pass this test. Like, just think about it. Ooh, just think about driving a car and then bam, 30 more thousand tons on top of it or more. Think elephant. Okay. Brake pads should not have brake fluid on them. One missing leaf and a leaf spring can be dangerous. And the answer is, you got it. Come on, all of the above. Okay. You are driving a vehicle at 55 miles per hour on dry pavement. And how about this? About how much total stopping distance will you need to bring it to a stop? Think about it. The length of a football field. Oh, y'all, I know you got it because you're smart. You got it. You got it. Next question. I'm just trying to keep you awake, you know, because you over there sleeping. But you can't be sleeping on this test because you need to know. You need to stay woke, honey. How you going to be driving this truck or driving this bus or driving whatever did you get the CDL if you sleeping during the test? You must park on the side of a level, straight, 4-lane, divided highway where the triangle's going. One within 10 feet of the rear of the vehicle. Remember, if they cannot see it, they're going to hit you. One about 100 feet, and then the other one 200 feet. I mean, the other answers are like this. 100, 110. Well, that's dumb. Because if you put it 100, 100, that's the same place. Who wants two triangles in the same place? Dumb. Right? So think about the answers. Ooh. Dumb. Right? You got to let people know as they come up on you. Okay? Then, we almost to the air brake, people. Let me see what I'm saying. According to the driver's manual, why should you limit the use of your horn? Listen, have you ever gotten in the truck? I hope you have. You heard them horns. Boom! It startles people. You gonna scare the bejesus out of somebody. Somebody gonna have a whole movement in their car. And we not talking about woo woo. We talking about body fluids. You're gonna scare them to. Okay. Which of these statements are about accelerating is true? Rough acceleration can cause mechanical damage. Yep. Next one. If a straight vehicle, no trailer, no articulation, goes into a front wheel skid, it will, think about it, go straight ahead, but will turn if you steer the wheel. That's the answer. Okay. Which of these statements about certain types of cargo is true? Unstable loads such as hanging meat or livestock can require extra caution on curves. I mean, just think about it. You don't want to be like whip it, and the cows going from the right to the left, to the left to the right. You done killed the cows before they even got to the market. Then you got this funky cargo in the back. I mean, just think about it. And then you don't want the meat. If you got meat hanging, nobody want the meat going from side to side, beating in the truck. It's like dead meat. Nobody want that. Like, what's that thumping? That's the dead meat. Okay, next. Just trying to make sure you woke. Okay. Whoa! You are driving a heavy vehicle. You must exit a highway using an off-ramp. The curves downhill. You should slow down to a safe speed before the curve. I mean, that's just common sense. Now, if you get this question wrong on there, you shouldn't even be driving a car. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even be driving a bike. You shouldn't even be driving a three-wheeler, as in a kid's pedal three-wheeler. Because if you don't know slow down and go into the curb, you don't even deserve to have a license. You shouldn't even be in the passenger seat. I'm just saying. Okay. Which of these is a proper use of vehicle lights? Now, we're not talking about when you leave your flashers on or your signal light. You know how you forget they're on. Turning on your headlights during the day when visibility is reduced due to rain or snow. Now, I mean, that's common sense because that's the law, right? So if you don't turn your lights on when it's raining, you breaking the law. Flashing your brake lights to warn someone behind you of a hazard that will require slowing down. I mean, that's a good one. And not only do you do that, but you do that when the police are there too. You be like, blink, blink, let me let y'all know the police are here. Blink, blink. Better watch it. And then the third one is flashing your brake lights to warn someone behind you that you're going to stop on the road. That is very important, because a lot of times you are not aware if your lights in the back are working. Even though you did your pre-trip inspection, anything can happen. So just boom, boom, boom. You know, all of the above is the answer. You see. Okay.
She cute.
A key principle to remember about loading cargo is to keep the load balanced in the cargo area. That's the answer. You are driving on a straight level highway at 50 miles per hour. There are no vehicles in front of you. Suddenly, a tire blows on your vehicle. Woo! This happened to me driving just a regular pickup truck. What should you do first? Should you A, stay off the brake until the vehicle has slowed down? B, quickly stare into the shoulder? C, begin lightly braking? A D, begin braking, emergency braking? Okay, again, this is a big truck, people. Let's use our senses. Here we go. If you said stay off the brakes and let the vehicle slow down, you got it right. You almost finished. Because I mean, if you begin to brake, what's going to happen? The whole load is going to flip over. Again, you're going to be mad. The owner going to be mad. And the person that the load is supposed to get to is going to be mad. Everybody going to be mad. And you're going to be mad because you still got no tire. And you still got to go get it fixed. And you got to wait for it to get it towed. Just think about it. These answers are easy. You got this. Next. Which of these is a good thing to remember when crossing or entering traffic with a heavy vehicle? Think about it. Heavy vehicles need larger gaps in traffic than cars. So listen, before you get your license, don't be one of them tractor trailers or truck drivers that keep trying to bully these cars and push them and fit into places you don't belong. Stop it. That's bullying. So that's the answer. Okay. Which of these statements about staying alert to drive is true? Sleep is the only one thing that overcomes fatigue. That is correct. Don't think you can go get coffee, donuts, put your window down, turn your radio up, and talk on your phone. You going to sleep. And you know when you go to sleep in a big vehicle, what happened? Yeah, you know, accidents. And when accidents happen, you know what happens? Your premium go up because you in an accident. Your insurance.
High school city.
Okay. Which of these is a good thing to remember about using mirrors? That there are blind spots. That your mirror cannot show you. So you just always have to be alert when you're trying to get over in this big vehicle. Okay. You are checking your steering and exhaust system in a pre-trip inspection. Which of these problems, if found, should be fixed before the vehicle is driven? You better fix all of them, okay? 1, steering wheel play of more than 10 degrees, leaks in the exhaust system, a small leak in the power steering fluid. Yes, all of the above is the answer. You can't be driving this truck and it's willy-nilly halfway, especially if you're going long distances, short distances, any distance. Just think about your load, anything can happen, and boom, you blowing up in your truck. Okay. Your vehicle has hydraulic brakes. Ooh. While driving on a level road, you press the brake pedal and find that it goes to the floor. You know what that means, don't you? When you're in a car and your brakes goes to the floor, Something ain't right. You ain't gonna try to drive that car. So why you gonna try to drive this truck? Okay, back it up. Now, pumping the brake pedal may bring the pressure up so you can stop the vehicle. That's a true statement. Okay. Next, what is a brake fade? Let's go to the answers. Brake fade can be caused by brakes getting hot fast. It's like wearing your brakes down, kind of, sort of, basically is what it's saying. Yeah. Okay. You got a couple more pages, and then you're gonna be on your air brakes. And we ain't gonna do all this tonight. I can tell you what do get to the air brakes, and we're gonna cut this off and go to part 2 later on, because you need to practice. Okay. You are driving on a 2-lane road. An oncoming driver drifts into your lane and is headed straight for you. Which of these is the most often and the best action to take? You stare to the right, brother. Okay. That's the left, but you're right. You know, I'm getting it. Which of these statements about engine overheating is true? You should never remove the radiator cap on a pressurized system until the system is cool. I mean, that's common sense, because that's the same thing for a car. You're not going to go and take the cap off. Whoa, what's going to happen? You're going to get burned. And think about with this big truck, your whole hand going to blow off. Boom. Oh. You don't want that. You are checking your wheels and rims for a pre-inspection trip. Which of these statements is true? Rust around the wheel, nuts, may mean they are loose. And when things are loose, you know what happens. Tires fall off. Things happen. You do not have a hazardous materials endorsement on your commercial driver's license. You are asked to deliver hazardous material in a placard vehicle. You should, you got it, refuse the load. Don't risk your CDL for no money, okay? Don't do it. Say, I can't take it, brother. I can't take it. As the blood alcohol concentration goes up, what happens? Judgment and self-control are affected. That is true. That's why you shouldn't drive and drink, period. It doesn't matter about a CDL, period. If you need to leave the road in a traffic emergency, you should avoid braking until your speed has dropped to 20, okay? Okay, you should stop driving after, basically it just says before, I mean, when you become sleepy. You know, I mean, we have laws though in place for how long you really could drive. There's laws for the week. But the answer here is whenever you become sleepy. Okay, because just because you only been driving an hour doesn't mean you can't get sleepy within an hour. So the rest of the answers, just think about it. When you get to this, you would think an 8-hour shift may be the answer, but that's not it. Because if you just came off another shift or you didn't sleep last night, driving will make you tired. All right. For this item, refer to the figure to the right. You are driving a long vehicle that makes wide turns. You want to turn left from Pine Street onto Cedar Street. Both the 2-lane, 2-way streets. You got it. Begin turning your vehicle when you are halfway through the intersection. Okay, next. You should avoid driving through deep puddles or flowing water. But if you must, okay, which of these steps help keep your brakes working? Gently putting on the brakes while driving through the water. That makes sense to me. Escape ramps are all of the above. Used to stop runaway vehicles, designed to prevent injury to drivers and passengers, and designed to prevent damage to vehicles. Which of these statements about downshifting is true? When you downshift for a curve, you should do so before you enter the curve. Remember, that was one of the questions before. Okay. What will keep an engine cool in hot weather? Avoid high-speed driving, making sure the engine has the right amount of oil, proper V-belt tightness, all of the above. All of the above is the answer. When driving at night, you should adjust your speed to keep your stopping distance within your sight distance. Which of these items is checked in a pre-trip inspection? All of the above. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? All of the above. Backing is always dangerous. You should back and turn toward the driver's side whenever possible. You should use a helper and communicate with hand signals. Is all of the above. Which of these statements about cold water driving is true? So the windshield washer antifreeze should be used. True. Control braking is used to have a vehicle in a straight line when braking. How do you correct a rear wheel acceleration skid? Stop accelerating. You're almost there. You're almost there. Which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for a person injured at an accident scene? Keep injured persons cool. Listen, a little CPR tip. When you don't know what's wrong with the person, you just make sure that the environment is safe and you wait till somebody come there. Okay? Next, for your safety, when setting out reflective triangles, you should hold the triangles between yourself and oncoming traffic. It's important that these people can see you because you don't know if they can see you or not. That's why it's reflective triangles. Next, the purpose of retarders is to help slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. How far should a driver look ahead of a vehicle when driving? 12 to 15 seconds. Hydroplaning. Some things you want to do, but you really don't want to do because it's scary. Is more likely to occur if the tire pressure is low. If you are being tailgated, you should increase your following distance. Which of the following statements about overhead clearance is true? B, the weight of a vehicle changes its height. You're almost there. You must drive on a slippery road. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? Slow down gradually. Which of these statements about the vehicle fires is true? A burning tire should be cooled with water. Cargo that is not loaded or secured properly can cause, definitely is all of the above. So a vehicle damaged by overloading, other highway users hit or be hit by loose cargo, and injury to a driver during a quick stop or crash. So all of the above. Next, your brakes can get wet when you drive through a heavy rain. What can cause this when the brakes are applied? It's all of the above. Uneven braking, trailer jackknife, lack of braking power. All of the above is the answer. Cargo covers. It protects people from spilled cargo, may be a safety requirement in some states, and protect cargo from weather. All of the above. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 50 miles per hour. Driving conditions are ideal. Drive pavement, good visibility. What is the least amount of space that you should keep in front of you from the vehicle and so you remain safe? 5 seconds. Immediately after a long hot drive, you check your air pressure in a tire and it is 5 pounds high. You should recheck the pressure after the tire cools off. Okay. 3 more questions and then it's air brakes. You should use mirrors to check the following: blind spots. And all of these are true about drinking alcohol except, and that answer is 3-ounce beers are equal to 12 shots. I don't know who came up with that math, but that one is not true. We all know it's not. All of these will cause a fire except, and these are the answers to the last question for this part of the test. A, underinflated tires. B, loose fuel connections. C, electrical short circuits. Which of these will cause a fire? I mean, all of these will cause a fire except a blown circuit breaker. Okay, that's it. So you guys, great job. This is only a review for you. I know you got it. The next section is going to be air brakes, and then you have to review the vehicle. So see you on the next one. And know that you are blessed and better than the rest because you're made by nothing less than God. Peace, love, and blessings, people. Love more. Ow.